Well, it is Saturday, July 28th, and Mitt Romney has put his foot in his mouth in a glorious way. He said he found London's preparations for the Olympics disconcerting. And the London newspapers jumped all over him for being so critical, and I'm jumping all over him for being so critical, and really kind of stupid. I mean, he may be more stupid than we think. The Times calls it Mr. Romney's Olympic-sized gaffe. And Romney has done it again, and he said that, and today all the papers were jumping all over Romney in London. All the papers were jumping all over him for criticizing the Olympics in London, and they want, everybody in Europe wants Obama to be president. So the British Prime Minister David Cameron said after Romney had criticized London's preparation, lack of preparation for the Olympics, he says, of course it's easier if you hold an Olympic Games in the middle of nowhere, Mr. Cameron said, an obvious allusion to the games Mr. Romney oversaw in Salt Lake City. I'm personally, needless to say, delighted that what's his name? Mitt, not George, it was his father, that Mitt Romney has put his foot in his mouth, because I think he's too secretive. I don't know what kind of president he'd be. I think he'd be a real pain in the ass president, to tell you the truth. I think he wouldn't be creative. I don't think he'd speak his mind on issues. I think he'd do what people told him. Almost like a slightly more intelligent George Bush. But he's not showing me much. And meanwhile, Obama is really showing me intelligence and an involvement in the job that, just shows me more. I mean, Republican policies, I know. All the prejudice against Obama. Black. He's a foreigner. Where's he from? Timbuktu, I believe. But nonetheless, he's a very bright man. He's doing a great job. And his economic policies, they haven't cured the recession, but I don't know whose economic policies could cure the recession, except mine, which is to give every American about $10,000 and say, go spend it. Which, of course, some people would say you can't do that, but I say you should. I mean, that $10,000 to $300, that'd be about $300 billion, something like that. Maybe $3 trillion, I don't know, offhand. But I think it's a good economic policy. Just get out there and spend that money. Create some more money and spend it. I know inflation and the lowering of the value of the dollar because you do it, but it would get us all out of trouble, I think, for a little while anyway. And if it didn't work, you do it again. It's really so simple. But then, meanwhile, there's Mitt Romney going to be supporting all the Republican ideas, austerity, tax cuts for the rich, tax cuts. And it seems to be that we've always done our best when taxes were high. I remember when I was a kid, my father paid an enormously high rate of taxes. Everybody paid a lot of taxes. And the economy was booming, so I don't believe that low taxes. I think it's just all nonsense, the low tax rate. And then everybody criticizing the government's involvement in capitalism. Well, it's been very instrumental in capitalism succeeding in many regards. Creating the internet, saving General Motors, things like that. Of course, everybody says, well, you need creative destruction. I understand creative destruction, but creative creation ends up with all the money being in the hands of very few people. And I don't know what good they do. I can't tell what good they're doing with all that money that they're coming up with, the 1%. I just can't tell. And the fact that so many people are against free education and free medicine for every American, and they all seem to be Republicans. Anyway, you know what I mean? Anyway, there's Mitt Romney walking in London and making a fool of himself. Okay.